5, Nights at Freddy's. I guess the next one that was going to come out was technically the 6th proper installment. I'm pretty sure it went this way. You had 1 through 4 released. Then there was that weird RPG game, like I think it was like Five Nights at Freddy's World, that no one liked. Then Sister Location comes out. That's technically so World doesn't count because it's not even. It doesn't play like any other game. It's an RPG.
Yeah.
You say Five Nights at Freddy's. If someone says RPG, never talk to them again. So the 6th one, the one after Sister Location, was being worked on. And now this is kind of dicey, but Scott Cawthon has said that he thinks he's pretty sure he's not going to go through with it. He thinks he's done with the series. What he has stated, and this looks like his statement in a Steam update, I believe. Yeah. He says that he's been neglecting other things in life for the sake of trying to keep up with mounting expectations. Excuse me. He said, I want to get back to what made game making enjoyable in the first place. In fact, the first game that I'd like to make would be something for you guys. Remember Foxy Fighters from Update 2? No, I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm sure other people do. I loved working on that game. It was a lot of fun, and it took a lot of the pressure off me knowing that it was just for the fans of the games. That's the kind of project that I'd like to work on again. Maybe I'll try my hand at a Pizzeria Tycoon game. Who knows? The point is that it would be something for fun and something for the fans. He kind of mentioned the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Basically, he said it's in good hands, not to worry about it. It's still in production. And also that he would like to work on a VR game. He didn't mention if that was going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's VR game.
What was that one fan-made game that was like...
The Joy of Creation?
Yes. Why is that not VR? That's honestly one of the best fan-made games and one that would be amazing in VR.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be that hard either.
No other Five Nights at Freddy's game would be enjoyable in VR. Like maybe 4 because it's a bit more interactive, but like everything else is just like
yeah. Everything else is pretty much you're in a fixed point.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's just playing the game with the screen closer to your face.
Yeah.
It's like watching Markiplier play it on your phone when you're trying to sleep.
So here's a couple questions. So is Scott really going to go through with this, do you think? Because he has said similar things before about other Five Nights at Freddy's games. This is not the first time he's talked about quitting on the series, and yet he always seems to come back.
I believe it.
You believe him this time?
Oh, yeah. I get tired of it too. And I'm sure it's hard trying to come up with new ways to make the same thing a little bit different each time.
At the same time, though, I kind of feel like, if you need to take a break, fine, take a break. But completely like swearing something off, I don't know if that's going to do. Number one, I mean, if he comes back to it like again, it's going to be boy who cried wolf mentality. Like people are going to start basically not believing him anytime he says anything. Maybe that's something he wouldn't mind happening, but
I don't think that. I think the fans of the game, if he decided, like, oh, I took a long enough break, Five Nights 6 is back on, I think people would be like, oh, yay.
Yeah, he just kind of strikes me as like a lot of artists where they're just very temperamental and they can get easily discouraged. And
yeah, because trying to make something that pleases everyone's really annoying.
Well, sure, but I mean, I feel like if you're making something, first and foremost, you should make something for you, for yourself. That's why I really get angry when people are like, I'm a fan. I've given money to this project, so I should get a say in what happens to it. No, you don't. It's not yours. So make something that you like, that you're going to be a fan of. Because if you're not a fan of it, you don't have the passion, and if you don't have the passion, you don't have the drive, yada yada. And he obviously doesn't have the drive for these games anymore. The only problem is, have you seen the other games he's made that have not been Five Nights at Freddy's games?
I think I think a few of them were like church games.
Yes, there were some Bible themed games in there, but that's not. But I mean, the quality of the games were, in the words of our president, not good, very bad. So I don't really see, unless he's going to do another horror game, which, why would you do that when you have Five Nights at Freddy's, which it's still, people don't seem to realize, when did the first game come out? Like, was it 2012 or 2013? 2013, I want to say.
I think so.
If that, they may have even been more recent. I'm kind of curious now as to when they came out. But the fact of the matter is, like, yes, we've had 5 mainline games. That's not really a whole lot of time that's gone by. Like, the concept of a Chuck E. Cheese style horror game, or, a horror game that takes inspiration from, like, animatronics. Like, no one else really does that.
Call of Duty would beg to differ.
What?
I mean, not about animatronics, but coming out with a game once or twice a year. The same game.
But he did slow down. And I feel, and have you played or seen Sister Location?
Oh yeah, the visuals in each game get better and better.
It's not even the visuals, just the whole, like, how the game plays out and how it's like you're not just in one location. You're not just like in one room. and kind of having the same objective, just do it faster, do it better each night. The objectives are always changing.
It's also never 5 nights.
Right.
It's always like 7 or 8.
That is very, very true. Even the first one had a 6th and a 7th night, right? Okay, the first one came out, August of 2014. So it hasn't even. We're almost at the 3-year mark. This has been around less than Minecraft, less than Shovel Knight, less than a lot of these, like, really big name games, kind of like these new players in the game franchise area. He's probably one of the most successful indie games franchises out there. And I don't know. If I were in his shoes, I wouldn't just say, yeah, I'm done with it. Maybe I'm not done with it.
From Software's only made 4. No, they made Demon Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls.
They did Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and then Bloodborne. And they're done with Dark Souls.
Right, but according to you, Bloodborne's probably still going to go on.
I think they said Bloodborne was going to get a sequel. I don't know why it wouldn't, because it is different from Dark Souls in atmosphere and gameplay. Even though they look very similar, it's just because it's made by the same studio. It's like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls and the Fallout series play very similarly, but that's because they're made by Bethesda.
Yeah. Next question on this is, do you think it matters with all these people making all of these Five Nights at Freddy's copycat / fan games?
Well, a lot of them really aren't. They don't bring anything new to the table other than, like, it's a different
Not good,
thing.
Very bad.
There are very few of them. Honestly, I'd say maybe like 2 or 3 have been, like,
exceptional,
either at or above the level of Scott's.
Right.
But, like, everything else is just all right. This is basically just Five Nights at Freddy's with a different color of paint.
Yeah. Or, hey, it's the Five Nights at Freddy's map, but made in the Gmod engine, the Half-Life 2 engine. Okay.
Well, I think they did a prop hunt map, but like that's for prop hunt. They've done a bunch of stuff for prop hunt. But yeah.
And I kind of feel like Scott should honestly contact the guy who made Joy of Creation and just work out a deal. Give him the license, sell him the license, and say, you're the one who's going to make Five Nights at Freddy's 6.
Or try and make another horror game. Because the games that he made before Five Nights at Freddy's, like you said, they weren't that good. But as soon as he stepped into horror,
yeah,
something happened. People liked it. People have liked, well, I say people, preteens have liked your sequels, and like 10 or 11 grown men on YouTube
that make a lot of money having people watch them scream their heads off. So, who am I to judge?
So, if you can do that, maybe try and make a even scarier, more adult horror game.
And I think he said in an interview one time that he used to have nightmares about Bonnie when he was developing the first game.
I'd have nightmares too if I made that game. Because, well, that's not really fair, because I'll have nightmares about just about anything. I had a nightmare about a weird slime alien trying to kill me last night. And that's why I woke up this morning.
Was it like a true nightmare? Did it really make you afraid, or just kind of
I thought it was in front of me. And I woke up at 9:15 or sometime around then, and I was at that point where my eyes were barely opened, but I felt like if I didn't open my eyes, it was gonna get me.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally just forced them open. So yeah, I believe it. Some people have really good imaginations.
Yeah.
When it comes to stuff like that. So.
And I can't even to me, I don't know. I feel like horror games are to make them. I'm not saying they're a better genre than all other game genres, but you have to take yourself out of your work the most. I feel like with horror games, because you actually have to be okay, I'm not just working on this as an asset, as a game. Is this legitimately scary? Because it's not you're not just trying to provide a gameplay experience that is good. You're trying to scare someone halfway to death. And the horror genre has only gotten much much better in recent years, with the gimmicks aside. But I couldn't even imagine doing something like that, and constantly being able to step back and be okay, is that still scary? Or will that scare someone and I'm just immune to it now because I've been working on it? Doesn't sound like he's immune to it. But Scott, I think you might want to reconsider, but at the same time, it's your life. If you feel like you got to step away for a while or permanently, go ahead and do it. Because it's not worth it if you're not enjoying it anymore.